Hey folks, welcome to today's episode of Behind the Flame, here in the Dragon's Lair studio at the Falcor Defense Headquarters in Kalispell, Montana. Today's guest is Elio from Blueline Tactical, a brand new dealer with an interesting business concept, new to the firearms industry, a fresh face, and we're really excited to have him in the studio and talk to him today. Couple housekeeping things before we get started, folks. We are doing a giveaway for this episode. We're going to be doing a swag pack from Blueline Tactical. They're going to have a Grey Ghost bag in there as well, some other items. Courtesy of Blueline, and a Falcor swag pack as well. So some stuff from us, some mag extensions, etc. To enter the giveaway, similar to the previous episodes, folks, go to our most recent Instagram post at Falcor_defense, like and tag a friend. Do the same thing for Blueline Tactical. Give them a follow, like their most recent post, tag a friend. Head over to the iTunes podcast app and leave us a review, preferably 5 stars. Leave your Instagram handle in that review, and this afternoon, Austin and I will pick a winner and announce it live on Instagram. Now I'm going to hand it over to the host, John Bartolo.
You're getting better.
I know, thanks.
It's clean. It's clean. The one and only Scummins coming at you. He's doing a great job. We've taken him down to about a half a bang before the show. Before it was like two bangs. 2 bangs don't make a right.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they do.
In the studio, we have D. Mitchell, the one and only D. Mitchell Designs. He rushed in here. Rushed in. Do we have a mic problem?
No.
Oh, we're good.
You're good, man.
Sorry.
No.
He rushed in here to do the podcast, fresh off 3 days of hard work, trapped in a hotel like the Paper Chase. And we have a really good guest. But I want to take a minute to thank everybody else in the room. Austin Webb Designs, Haley J Photos, snapping photos all around. She's wearing some kind of shawl today. She got rid of the Freddy Krueger pants, and now she's wearing a fucking shawl. What is that? Is that a cardigan or a shawl? What are we talking about here? What am I looking at?
I think that's a cardigan. That's a cardigan.
She stole that off my dead grandmother. Then,
wow, dude.
and we have the lovely Lono 86 who will be on tomorrow hanging out. So we have an awesome guest today. He's new to the business. He's really new. He's got a great story. He started to share it. I really like this guy. We rapped a bit last night. We spent some time talking. He's in the Texas area. Everybody knows Texas is near and dear to my heart. I see us having a pretty good friendship as time goes on because he speaks the truth. He doesn't bullshit. And for everybody in the YouTube, if you're in Instagram, any of the interwebs, head over to the YouTube, Falcor Defense. We're going to be giving a prize pack away. So head over to the YouTube and ask questions. It's going to be pretty badass. We're going to get into some deep shit.
I'm stoked, man.
So we have Elio from Blueline Tactical.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? So from the Houston area, he started to tell us the story. I want him to go. We did our intro piece. Why the fuck did you get into this business?
Well,
tell the story.
I'm still trying to figure that one out, but it all started with, so let me tell you about Blueline. So Blueline consists of myself, our CEO, Shigeo Nakagawa, and our CFO, Zachary Escobar, which he's always behind the scenes. So it all got started when Shig decided that he wanted to leave California and move to Texas. So, you know, beside Blueline, I own a real estate brokerage, a construction company. I had other businesses. My wife owns a nail salon. So the business side of it, I thought would be a fairly easy transition for me. I think I could help him. So this all started back in May. Shig decided, hey, I want to open up a gun store. I didn't know shit about owning a gun store.
It's fucking crazy.
I didn't know shit about IG. Didn't know anything about a podcast.
Now here you are.
5 months later.
Thrown right into the fire.
That's it.
So Shig's the cop, right, in the equation. He's the blue line.
Yeah, so Shig, you know, he was in the Army, retired from the military, got into law enforcement. So he all the tactical stuff and testing everything out, like all the products, all the assembly. Shig's our guy. I'm more of like branding. No, I got with the branding, the website. I cut the checks. I established the relationships with the dealers. So that's my role in it.
The relationship guy.
Yeah, and people don't, we talk about this a lot, Sam. We have guys on here. People don't understand when you get out of the military or law enforcement after you're a 20-year guy or you do your service, it's almost humbling to be like, you don't know where to start. And I spend more time, I got text messages in my phone, and Lo knows this, more time talking to people that can't, they need help figuring it out. And here you are helping them figure it out.
So it hasn't been easy for sure, though. So I think, we've been faced with obstacles even as far as the name. Mm-hmm. So like I was telling you guys earlier, BluelineTactical.com belongs to Blueline Tactical in New York. So then they have a shooting range, I believe. I think Suresh had them on one time.
Yep.
Good guys. Even the name was something that it was me, Shig, and Zach driving to lunch, and we were throwing out names, right? We didn't know. We were just brainstorming. Shig mentioned, he back to Blue, got your 6, back to Blue. He's
All
like, why not Blueline Tactical? And I'm like, yeah, sure. It sounds good. So let's go for it. So we go in through the LLC, we get that set up, send it over to the state, and we get flagged. You have to change your name. So I'm like, well, why? So the attorneys say there's a company in Fort Worth that makes ammunition. They're Blueline Tactical Group LLC. So I do the obvious and just reach out to him. So I try to reach out. Shig reached out to the guy and immediately told him, Shig's like, hey, law enforcement, getting out of it, starting my business. He gave him the business plan and his vision. The guy was kind of up for it, but he immediately found that it was a way that he can, make some money. They weren't in business anymore. So he offered us to, he will sell us his approval, which, I didn't really agree with it. We went over, I made him an offer. He told Shig a certain amount. Let's just say we weren't really fond of the agreement. So I got on the phone with the Secretary of State, Rolando Palacios' office in Austin.
Straight to the top.
And I was like, I call up there and his secretary answered and she said, hey, how can I help you? I said, ma'am, just hope you can point me in the right direction. I said, I have a bit of a unique situation. She's like, okay. I said, well, business partners getting out of, law enforcement. Said he's a veteran trying to build a business here in Houston. Just trying to help him chase his dream, but we've come to a roadblock. I said, with our name. She says, well, I'm a sucker for men in uniform and for vets, so let me see what I can do. So she puts me on hold, comes back and says, hey, got some good news and some bad news. I'm like, okay, what's the bad news? She's like, the bad news is you're absolutely right. You do need their approval for you to be Blueline Tactical because of the similarity. I'm like, ma'am, I don't think that's ever going to happen. He's has his idea on how we should resolve things. I have my idea. I don't think we're going to come to terms. I said, he wants a ridiculous amount of money. We're starting off. I've made an offer. There's no there. Puts me on hold again. I wait for probably the longest 15 minutes of my life. And she comes back and says, hey, I got some good news. Good news is, come June 1st, there's a law change, and if you resubmit your paperwork, you guys are good to go as Blueline Tactical LLC.
Well, there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah, so, we had to play the waiting game, and then that was good. So from there we had the LLC set up. Now it was the branding. So we were very fortunate to come across David Craig, and he gave us what was our vision behind the logo, and we told them we wanted a Punisher type skull with an American flag and a blue line on it. And we think David killed it. So we had, everyone loves the logo. We had a great response. Ideally, hopefully a year from now, we can say, hey, instead of you seeing Punisher, decals on trucks, you're going to see Blueline across the U.S. So we're going to...
Going global.
Yeah.
Cease and desist letter from Netflix.
So getting the vibe from chatting with you the last, day and a half, and as long as I've known you, you don't need this. You're not doing this because you need to do this. You're doing it because you wanted to help this guy out. And you had a soft spot talking to him, and, you were telling the story, and there was a longer form to the story when you were telling it. This guy kind of ended up in your lap, and you don't have to get into the details, but he ended up in your lap, and you were like, fuck it, we'll run with it. You got your hand in a lot of other shit. Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, you don't need this.
No, Blueline's not my sole source of income, and to be honest with you, if it was, it'll be super tough to go through everything we've gone through and be able to still be here 5 months. People get discouraged, man.
Mm-hmm. It takes time to build a brand. It's something, as you know, through my consulting company, I've worked with over a dozen brands in the firearms business. A lot of people know some of them, some nobody knows. But I've had my hand in it. It's a lot of pounding the pavement, walking the street, handing the stuff away, doing stuff like this, flying out, getting media out there and telling your story. And it's getting easier to tell your story because of things like podcasts, the resurgence in podcasts, the resurgence in media. But, for a while, all we had in the gun industry was social media, and all we've had is Instagram, really. Now everybody's kind of seeing a little bit of a play on YouTube and through podcasts and through Facebook. Where have you seen the most traction, and where have you kind of see the brand, as far as gaining the most traction? Is it just on Instagram, or do you see yourselves doing more on YouTube in time, or where do you want to go?
Really in the 5 months, the hardest part was, you start calling, dealers, or you go on websites and you try to get information on how to become a dealer. And unless you have, big buying power, you can easily get discouraged from that, right? So we were fortunate enough through a Shig's co-worker, his name is Jason Barnes. He also worked with Shig down in California. He made the introduction with Garrett and Steven from Strike Industries. And to be honest, based on that introduction and Garrett being the guy that he is and that positive feedback, Steven, Albert, Malcolm, all the Strike guys. Those guys are, they're like family to us, man. That we've been a friendship, and his mentorship and kind of telling us, hey, go here, go to TriggerCon. That was the Strike guys telling us that we should try it, right? So, we go to TriggerCon. At TriggerCon, we've already started doing the resale certificate with the state of Texas to be able to carry the accessories for Strike. We became a dealer with Strike based on the relationship and the introduction from Jason and Garrett wanting to help us out. We then got to TriggerCon, right? And all we had at TriggerCon was some branded bill hats, the original hats, and some T-shirts.
And we were supposed to meet at TriggerCon, but we didn't.
No.
You wanted to bump into me.
Yeah, but you were pretty busy. So
was that your first gun style trade show, gun industry trade show?
Yeah, so I had been to Agenda, retail clothing and in Vegas, and I'd done that, but nothing like that, man.
You're going to SHOT Show this year?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You gonna hang out at our booth?
I hope if I get invited,
it's gonna be lit.
You're always invited. But why? At TriggerCon, I don't want people to think out there that I'm not accessible. By all means, come up, say hi. I may not have a ton of time, but we should have spent more time together there.
Yeah. So TriggerCon was neat in a way that especially a new company, let's say, right? Because the first thing they're gonna ask you is, "Great, you got your FFL paperwork." Well, it's in the process. A lot of people were like, well, you need your FFL paperwork.
Not to buy accessories.
And I'm like, well, exactly. But their first thing, if you don't have your FFL and they can't sell you their whole package, I mean, you get discouraged. So I showed up at TriggerCon with patches, branded bill hats, who makes all our hats, which, they're from Phoenix. If you haven't checked their stuff out, you definitely should.
I checked it out last night online on IG because I think you had tagged him or something like that. I was like, it's pretty legit. I mean, you guys can see here on the camera, it's got like a laser cut leather mat. This is a United States one, but there's also like the Texas ones. There's like the Blueline Tactical logo ones, and then they're laminated on there. It's not sewn, which is interesting, and it's the really nice quality snapback hat and a little branding down the side. It's just a really nicely put together product. It's a really nice hat.
The good thing is, so I'm a firm believer that I like being able to talk to the CEO. Like, they exist, right? Like,
you can look, feel, touch, they're there.
Yeah, so Josh from Branded Bills, I mean, he helped me design some of the stuff. Dude, and I was like, hey, I like this, I don't like that, design sheets. He took the time to kind of... Lisa from Branded Bills she's amazing. I mean, they're a close group. It's family, man. And I think ultimately that's something that I see for in a company, and that's what earns my business. The ability that I got to talk to Garrett. My decision with doing business with Fortis. I met Paul at TriggerCon. I mean, and he talked to me. He's like, yeah, whatever we can do. I mean, he could have easily said no. You don't even have your resale certificate.
But I was the only one that wasn't worthy of being graced with your presence. I was busy.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
we got to change that.
Well, now he's here. He's here. He's at the Dragon's Lair at Falcor HQ.
Yeah, you're here.
I had to play hard to get.
I'm speechless. So
yeah.
The thrill of the chase.
It wasn't going to be that easy for you, buddy.
No. So TriggerCon comes and goes, and you get your first taste of the industry. You start to dip into some of the people and some of the folks. And TriggerCon's a great show for that because it's a small, more intimate show. If you go to SHOT Show and you've never been to SHOT Show, it's sensory overload. Yeah. The first year you go to SHOT Show, you're like, oh my God, it's too much. I can't handle it. So you kind of have to have at SHOT Show a little bit of a plan, and you have to have a home base. Like a lot of people have used Falcor as a home base, Breakthrough, a lot of the different companies I'm associated with because I have friendships, because it's overwhelming. You walk around and it's sensory overload. You can't walk the show in one day. You can't, like somebody says to you, hey, Sally, I'm over at this booth. Like, you're like, okay, it'll take me 3 days to get there.
Yep. I'll see it tomorrow.
It's overload.
Afternoon.
So you get your first taste of the business. What are you thinking at that point? We're going to get into larger scale. You get your first taste, and it's all family and it's all love at TriggerCon. It's a lot of love.
Well, it's some.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that aren't as friendly, right? But to me, it's like, let me just put it this way. So at TriggerCon, I started my relationship with Fortis, with Paul and Tony. I met GW and Katie with Grey Ghost.
And BB's over there. He's been on the show.
BB, good dude. So they were my gear. Everyone immediately was like, go with 5.
Nylon, yep.
So I'm like, I like Grey Ghost. Again, I couldn't do the precision side of it because of the FFL and all. I'm like, I just want to be a dealer for the merch right now, for the bags, the range bags, all that. We can make more. Made a relationship with Grey Ghost. They were great. TriggerCon was where I met Justin from F1. So Justin's my sales guy there, Justin, Tim, Dion, all those guys, and it was neat because they're from Spring, Texas, right? So in Texas, it's further north. We're south, but I told Justin, I'm like, hey man, I said, I was curious, do you guys deal with dealers? Like, I don't know you guys are from Texas. Do you immediately?
Because you're standing.
Sam's laughing. Not to interrupt you. Sam's laughing. Semi-Auto Kid on YouTube says it's so funny seeing these two sitting next to each other. It's like the Hulk and a 10-year-old kid.
It's because he's standing up. you guys aren't seeing the sack of books he's standing on.
There's no books.
There's books. I'm looking at them right now.
I joke about this all the time that I get the rap for being short and stubby or whatever.
Nah, he's pretty tall, dude.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. John's a fat, short guy.
Seriously.
Everyone thinks that.
They think I'm like a 4-foot-tall leprechaun. So I don't know why.
No, an Oompa Loompa, man.
Yeah. So
back to the TriggerCon thing. So Fortis, I talked to Justin. I'm like, man, like Do you guys have a retail storefront? You know, I want to carry your stuff in Kima, be a presence. And really my vision was surrounding myself with the best in an industry and doing collaboration, like a Blueline times Strike Industry, you know, with our logo, kind of co-brand. Yeah. Supreme did it with Louis Vuitton. You have all these. I didn't come in the game to play it. I came to change it.
Amen. And that's, you know.
Wait, hold on. Can we just stop right there for a second? Say that again real quick.
I didn't come in the game to play it. I came to change it. So, straight up.
And anyone who follows me or knows me in this business, I break a lot of rules. I think it goes without saying. Mm-hmm. I've broken my share of rules in this business. I've done everything wrong. I'm not tactical enough.
Yeah.
I'm not ninja enough.
You don't have the right background.
I don't have the right background. I don't kiss the right rings.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough that you have to break rules in marketing and branding. People who play it safe and choose to be puppeteered, so to speak, and we've discussed this, they never establish themselves on their own two legs. And I think, you know, I'm a little jaded. I've been around a little longer. I've been to the circus. I've seen the clowns. I've seen how people play the fucking game. Yeah. And I've seen how people come into it. They have their first sleeve of tattoos and I know everything. Cool. Great. Awesome. Tell me more. But they don't have the business, whether it's the business acumen or the understanding of what it is to build a business and build a brand. And you look at some of the folks behind some brands. I'm not going to name names, but some of the companies I worked with, these guys are tremendously business savvy, and they understand how to set up a business successfully.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, man. Like, people get lost. I always look at it like in a business, your first year, if you're going and starting a business and thinking you're going to be profitable year one, you fucked yourself because you have the wrong expectations.
No.
You have to be able to eat shit for a year to eat filet mignon the rest of your life. That's how I see it. And it's like, it's tunnel vision. It's not 8 to 5. We're fucking 7 days a week, 24/7, learning, meeting people, trying to switch it up. I mean, you have to have some kind of...
You're figuring it out, and you figure out who the pieces of shit are, and you figure out who's behind you and who has your back, and in every industry it's that way. In every industry.
John, I'm looking over here at the producer's desk. I see you smirking while Elio's talking because you're saying a lot of the things that John and I have talked about before. It's just good to have a fresh face, not saying the same shit again. Yeah. The gun industry is a bunch of gun guys that want to do business. You're a business guy that got into the gun industry.
And here's the deal. We talked about it, yo. I'm like, I'm not tactical. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a vet. And I never fucking say I am. That's shit. And I just want to make it clear, like, the industry, you're going to have the people that support the vets, which is great. So do I. Law enforcement, great.
That's why you're doing what you're doing right now.
But I'm not. I am who I am, right? Like, I'm Mexican, right, with sleeves and shit. So it's different. Like, I'm already fucking.
You're not Mexican.
No.
Yeah. Yeah?
God forbid they find out I'm Mexican. Fuck, how's a Mexican to see? You know what I'm saying? Like,
a Mexican? Really?
Yeah.
The whole time I thought he was white.
No.
What? He doesn't speak Spanish, does he?
No. No, you're absolutely right. You touch on a point that makes total sense, and we talk about over and over again, and even I've talked about this with so many people. What people don't understand is that this is a business.
Yeah.
You're in business to sell. And there's a lot of people who think that it's one big giveaway train. They think that it's one big this, and they think it's about Instagram. People live on Instagram. Shit, I get high off that.
Yeah. And here's the thing with that, like, and the good thing, and I got it, Shig and Zach are great partners because they fucking just sit back and they're like, E, we don't know how you do it.
And the things you're doing, though, for the community, like what you're doing for this guy is you're setting him up a business and you're saying, I'm going to get you started.
Yeah.
You're doing a bigger service to a veteran and a Leo than some people will ever fucking do in a lifetime.
Yeah, you're helping them build their own future.
Then, you know, how many people, I could go up to Lo right now, and she's a cop, and I could say, let me help you set up an LLC, set up this, set up that. You're doing more for the community than most people will ever do that sit there and say, you know, oh, why aren't I successful? Oh, you know, why is he doing that? You have all these haters and all these people out there that don't get it, or, you know, he needs to be more tactical, he needs to be more Navy SEAL, he needs to be more this, he needs to be more that. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. Like, ideally with me, and we talked about it yesterday, right? So I own and I'm silent partner in multiple business ventures, and I don't work for Exxon. I don't work for Merrill. I don't work for – I don't have a corporate. I don't have 401k.
You're your own 401k.
Me growing CEOs, helping them build, getting their confidence up, that's my fucking 401k. If Lono wants to open up Blueline New York, let's do it. We back you, right? So, and that's the thing. Like, I got a lot of shit because here's the deal. My IG.
You heard it here first.
That's it. Let's go. If you're at Lee Vets all over the U.S., send us your resumes.
Dude, seriously.
Seriously.
We were talking earlier in like the groundwork that's been laid here for this, and we were talking about the distributor concept, kind of where you guys are at with that. Yeah. It's just I'm excited to see kind of where this goes, because I don't think people don't grasp right now that Blueline is still very new.
Yeah, we're 5 months.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how much sales has Blueline done? 0. You heard it here. 0.
Painful honesty here on the podcast of how to start a business
Straight
in
up.
2018.
Yeah.
Start a business, expect to do 0.
Call the Secretary of State.
That's it.
Build a brand.
That's it.
But it's the truth. I mean, I know the numbers of what was being given away, even here in the past and at different brands. It's all part of the building phase. And a lot of companies fail because they can't get the name of their brand out, and they can't get their brand out to the street level to where people start talking about it. And the only way they're going to talk about it is if they can feel it and touch it and look at it. Like, if something's brand new to market, I don't care if it's a hat, I don't care if it's a T-shirt, I don't care what it is. You have to get hands on it. And even established brands, that's why they have ambassador programs. Like, if you're weak in a region, you reach out to someone and you want to get them, you know, some air cover. And that's how sponsorship and ambassadorship exists.
Yeah.
And people don't understand what it really takes to build a brand and the thought process behind it and how much you have to put up and what you have to expect. And they don't measure their expectation properly. And many businesses get set up for success and many get set up for failure.
Well, the biggest thing is they set unrealistic expectations for themselves also. If you, in business, especially in a new industry, you don't know. You don't know the people you're going to deal with. You don't know. You have to kind of test it out, right? So October, and like I told you guys, October 1st, we finally got our letter from our license from the ATF. We got the paperwork, frame it, and you scanned it. You know, it was exciting. 5 months into it. Now when we get back home, then that's the grind. But guess what? When we go back home, I have a warehouse stocked full of Gragos, Fortis, Strike. You know, I have F1, Darkstorm Industries from New York.
Falcor Defense.
I'm at Falcor Defense. Yeah, we're going to wrap that up when we get tomorrow. Draco's barrels. I'm going to do a hybrid. I'm going to do like a Draco's times F1 times like Strike.
All right. I'm down with that.
I'm going to just
put it together.
I'm going to just stir shit up.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
hell yeah.
So some stuff, some questions coming in on YouTube. Some stuff. Sign me up for Blueline Tactical. I live in Spring, Texas, too. Where are they? Where are you in Spring, Texas?
No. We're in Kemah, Texas.
Alfa Omega Kydex and Blueline has been making some waves. Yeah, Blueline's definitely been making waves, Alfa Omega. So have you. Somebody asked, awesome bro S, why aren't you calling up PDs and taking orders for full autos? A lot of PDs don't use full autos.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
And
I don't know. The regulatory process for that
Yeah,
is
clarify
pretty
that question, awesome bro.
We can talk about that if they want to, though.
And Frank Smith makes a good statement here. He says 0% sales, 100% community outreach.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't sum it up better, Frank. That's a good way to put it. Expect 0 sales and 100% community outreach.
Yeah,
laying the groundwork
Lay
right
the
now.
groundwork.
Yeah, but here's what I want. Here's my deal, too, though. The sales will come. if they know we're good people, I mean, we're family oriented. We're not fucking anyone over. We're here with a good vision. I get a lot of shit because they're like, you have 1,000, followers. Like,
You're nothing.
how do you compete with Sergeant Max Gun Shack and HTX Tactical? I don't. Philip is, and I talked to Philip. He's my boy. Like, that's his. He has that down lock. I can't compete with that.
You're not really doing what he's doing, though.
No.
Yeah, different animals.
And HTX, though, they're doing their thing. They're killing it, and they have their deal. And I can easily say, like, Hav, George, Philip, like, I fuck with everybody, man. Like, I'm meat.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people were like, that's your competition and all that. Why do you hang out with them? Or, dude, if Philip has a crazy following. What's up, PJ? And you see him, he's helping me out with the merch. Dude, he gets so much request as far as our hats, where it'll be, how do I not jeopardize?
Right.
You become Blueline Tactical hat company now?
Right.
I don't know yet, man. I think, branded bills, they've been great. Not only, again, like, and they're not the cheapest. Our hats, our cost is high. So our cost is like complete transparent, like $20 a hat is our cost because they're cutting out the leather patches.
Well, that's the thing is you got to take a closer look at the product and the value is there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a throwaway hat. It's a good product.
Yeah, and we retail them for $40, and no one's really complained, right? But here's the thing: like a lot of times they're like, "No, you should do discount codes," and dude, that's what we feel like. Shipping's involved and all this other stuff, like, and people don't even question it, right? Like Zach, all our Exxon, the guys at the refineries are all wearing Blueline hats, and no one's complaining. So we're like, well,
I know exactly what you're trying to say. It's no one's complaining about where the price is at. The market can bear it. It's not a big deal. It's a good product. We don't need to discuss that anymore.
Yeah, you'd always pay more for a quality product.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. And we're talking about like it's so difficult, and I've been blessed to I work with Philip. I work with HTX F1, and I was also blessed to meet Jason and Craig. They own the Texas Gun Club down in Stafford. I went over there. We bought a Republican membership. Again, we started the relationship. You guys will see a lot of Texas Gun Club times Blueline because I'm going to have a unique relationship with them where I'm going to offer some of my products there at their storefront.
Yeah, your branded collaboration products and stuff.
Right. So instead of him carrying Magpul stocks or something from his distributor, then I'm going to come in there as maybe like a boutique distributor. Go in there, change his wall from Daniel Defense to, Falcor F1, stuff like that, strike stuff.
Yes.
Personal relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sit down. These are my friends. Like I sit down at their office and I have lunch. My wife knows their wife. I mean, and everyone's like, well, no one. How would they go with that? Because
I got to get a wife first.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
Then my wife will know your wife.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
You got to find that.
John doesn't even know his wife yet, so.
No, I don't even know my wife yet. So, you're taking this wild journey as the YouTube questions come in, and a lot of people are super supportive. Questions coming in. We're going to get to the journey, but Frank follows up and he says, like I said, the personality and vision have laid the foundation for a successful future. I'm happy to be a friend. And that's the truth. I mean, you're laying the foundation. The other thing is, off topic, awesome bro, I still don't know what you're getting at. Full autos for SWAT. The only full auto SWAT runs are full autos usually in a 9mm capacity. Usually that's the MP5 or the MPX or some 9mm variant. So I'm not sure what you're getting at, and you're asking questions about the range. And then Frenny saying, hi, Dan Frenny, what's up? And we appreciate everyone on YouTube, so make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you tap that like button. We appreciate you guys, and Blueline does too.
On Facebook as well.
Facebook too. Shout out to Facebook. Woo. But you take this wild journey, and you end up here. Now let's bring it full circle. What do you think of the 2A industry and social media now?
Well, it's different, right? So,
like, who are your inspirations? Who do you look at? You don't have to name names specifically, and it's a muddy water. It really is.
I mean, IG is it's a fucking different animal for sure, right? Like, and it can make you or break you, kind of deal. If I post shit that's, let's say I post a picture and I'm not holding the gun the way I'm supposed to hold it. Fuck, I'm out. Or I'll get all these negative
People don't forget that kind of stuff either.
It's tricky. And here's the deal. And people, they don't, I mean, you're human. They're like, hey, you make a mistake that's why. And here's another thing about IG, man. What I don't want is, I have a wife and 4 beautiful children. You know, Shig's happily married. Zach has a wife and beautiful children. IG is one of those deals where you get that one fucking troll that talking shit to you as an individual. Fuck it. It is what it is. But when they go to the wife or they follow you and they take that fucking time, these guys are sitting in a fucking room miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking trolling. The moment it crossed that line where they go after a family member.
Oh, yeah.
Or you know, Shig, it's Blueline CEO, you know, it's his wife Jessica. She does a lot of help us out at the warehouse. She's Mrs. Blueline. So we wouldn't know how to react if someone just automatically starts talking shit. We don't need that, man. Like, what? I would just deactivate. Fuck IG. Really?
You got plenty of other people on your team that will do all the promotion for you.
Yeah, I think you know, you hit on a point. People get so sucked in to Instagram because it's driven towards the ADD. I sit in my marketing meetings, and the truth of the matter is, and people know this, I spend so little time on IG now, it's not even funny. It's not funny. I mean, I do my little live on Monday night, blah, 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 you know, whatever. As far as the Falcor IG goes, I have a team that handles that. People think like, you know, I'm the CEO here and I'm like on the IG. I have I have a very good team and I give them guidance, and sometimes they come off the rails, sometimes they stay on the rails.
No, they've been doing it.
Yeah, and they do a great job, and they just need a little guidance, a little shaping. But the truth of the matter is, IG is one small piece.
It's also the internet. People don't realize that this is the internet. It's not real life, so don't take it so
and
seriously.
Instagram, we've talked about it on this podcast. Instagram is reflective. It's like your resume. Okay, it's all there. Who I've trained with, who I've been with, who I've met, who I've seen, who's in my circle, who's not in my circle, who I move and sit with, and who I talk to. It's all there in real time. You can see it. I don't for 1 second think that that's the sole avenue for success. Now, you have your trolls, of course. Everyone has trolls. I have fucking 5 a night.
Here's my thing. And to where I'm at right now, Blueline, or if some people might say we're in a good spot, some people would disagree. Every relationship I have, every dealer we carry, we have a relationship with. We're that personal. If I call them, I text them. I mean, I consider them friends.
Absolutely.
And if let's say, you know, God willing, and wait a year from now, we said, hey, this didn't work out, we'll still be friends, right? Because, like you said, I mean, ultimately, it's all business.
Yeah.
And if you give it a year or 2 years, we analyze, hey, it's not where we're at. Like, shit, Sam said it. Fuck, is it Blueline hats? Well, shit. If I'm making more profit margins off Blueline hats than I am Glocks, fuck yeah.
And it's time to start sourcing that stuff.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, I mean,
Give me a call when you do that.
You know as a brand, when you're about a year to 18 months in, you can look at it in a year, probably about 18 months, you have a good inkling into where you're at. And then you can step it up like Sam's touching on sourcing and where you're getting things and expanding and adding SKUs and starting to see where your SKU palette is. You know, maybe it goes beyond hats, shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, jackets. You start expanding. You have to look at your SKUs and constantly be auditing what you're doing in those subsectors. And it's something we do constantly here, but people don't understand really what it's like to continuously have to build out a brand and what it takes and the time that you have to put in. And then coming back to IG and the personalities in the firearms industry and the 2A community, you have the inward-facing community and you have the outward-facing community. And the inward-facing community is the community that will eat its own. They will chew you up and spit you out if they can. because it's almost like, everybody sits around, and if you're on top, they say, why not me, or why don't I get that, or why isn't that my jam, or why is he hanging out with him, or why is she hanging out with him, or I want to be cool, or why can't I be like him, or fuck him, he sucks, he's too...
Yeah, I mean, and here's the reality of, like, if you want to touch, like, even on IG fucking hates the gun community.
Oh, man. No question.
It's
because it's owned by Facebook, though.
Okay, so people don't talk about it. So, one, we're already fucked when it comes to social media.
You can't buy ads
I tried to
on there.
sponsor an ad for hats, and it got declined. And I'm like, why? It's a hat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, there's...
No, you're gun related. Fuck it. POS systems. No one wants to touch on that. Square. Some of these more modern POS systems, they don't like... If you're in the gun industry, they don't want to fuck with you.
Yeah, merchant services is a big deal that companies don't talk about publicly a lot, but that is an issue. I mean, every company has it. Friends of mine in the industry have been talking to me about, like, there's no problem with sharing that information, guys. You gun folks out there that own companies, help other businesses find the gun-friendly merchant service providers and card processing services and stuff, because that's really important. And you're right, because there's a lot of these companies that are enforcing basically economic gun controls on companies trying to do business in this industry.
Dude, if someone would be transparent and say, this is the shit you have to deal with in this industry, I wouldn't have done it.
That's what, well, honest to God, that's what we're trying to do here. People, the vehicle for this show is to show behind the curtain. That's why we call it Behind the Flame. Yeah. Here in Falcor, this company has a history of being so involved in different facets of this business that when we kind of gave birth to this podcast, Sam and I sat down, and Derek and a few of us, we wanted to have guests on that would give you a peek behind the curtain.
It's not just industry folks on here.
Yeah, we had no desire to be a show that was, we're only going to have 3 gunners on, or we're only going to have SWAT. We're only going to have SEALs. You have to be a Navy SEAL. Yeah. You have to be this. You have to be that. No. We wanted to have industry friends on, industry relationships that we were developing and that we knew, that were going to give a serious peek behind the curtain. And you take someone like yourself who's very green and very new to the industry, it's so exciting to spend time with you. And we had dinner last night, and we spent some time, chatting a bit this morning, and over breakfast, and getting a fresh perspective. And I think this industry is so scared of a fresh perspective coming in. We're really entering an awesome time in this business, expanding new markets. I've said it 100 times. People got on us. Why are they lifting weights? Why are they working out? Why are they training? Why are they hanging with this one? Why are they hanging with that one?
Why do you care so much if it bothers you?
Here's my thing. All their fucking opinions don't deposit in the bank account, so I really don't give a fuck. I don't.
Yeah. That was, there's a good quote from Tupac that I really like. It says, I got beef with anyone that comes between me and my money.
And here's the thing, though. And here's the reality of it. Like, this industry, it causes... and I told Shig and Zach, and we tell each other to fuck off, or why did this? Like, it's gonna happen. Our wives... time away from the kids. If Blueline were to say, fuck it, I'm closing tomorrow, me, Shig, Zach will be okay.
Yeah.
We'd be fine.
Semi-Auto Kid says, IG has been blackballing 2A guys for a while now. IG dropped me over 200 followers the other day. Yeah, that's been going on a little bit. There is a universal shadow ban out there, so some accounts have been getting dinged. And I've noticed even on my own account, it inadvertently follows people because I specifically put my account at a specific number. If you notice, I follow 777s, and and I know some guys do the 666 or they do 300 only. Dom Rosso's big on that, and he only follows 300 people. Yeah, IG's been going through some of that, and that's going to be continuous. But to the haters, he makes another point. Every successful person has a pack of haters. I'm going to tell you right now, and this isn't me saying this. Arnold said this back in the 70s. When you get to the top of the mountain in any industry, or you get to what's perceived success, people don't see the hard work. They don't see the climb. They don't see, I know in my case, I can speak for myself. I'm not going to put anyone else on the spot. They don't see me wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They don't see me work 4, 5, 6 hours before somebody even thinks about getting out of bed. They don't see you with the laptop in front of your face at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
They don't see those things.
I mean, they saw it on your Instagram.
They saw it on my story this morning, but they don't see those things that lay the groundwork for success. The way I look at it, and I've said this 100 times, is I'm a total fuck up. I'm a total fuck up. So I need the extra 4 hours a day to get it right.
That's why I only need 4 hours a day, because I'm so fucking awesome.
Hey, but here's the deal though. Even when it comes to productivity, even in my most productive times are from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. And that's because my phone's not fucking ringing.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Some guys are night crawlers. I know Melinda Sandra, she's a night crawler. Some people are night crawlers. They work well at night. Some people work well in the middle of the day. Some people work well in the morning. That's why the rules of 9 to 5 don't apply anymore. They don't apply anymore. So I don't adhere to that rigid standard. I come in here about 6 a.m. in the office. Usually by 3-4 Mountain Time, I'm starting to bug out because that's my threshold. Yeah. That's where my body functions the best. And I need that couple hours from 3-ish, 4-ish to 6 to kind of regather myself.
Yeah.
And then from 6 to 8 to 9, I put in a couple more hours, whether that's calls or check-ins and send a couple emails at home. That's when I get some of my computer time in to respond to emails and really read through stuff. But the rules don't apply anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I took a lot of heat, and you will too, because I was one of the first CEOs to put myself out there. And to put a lot out there. I know Kevin has done it in the past, but and there's some guys I got respect for that put themselves out there. I do. I got love for them, and I acknowledge them as kind of trendsetters, good and bad. But when you put yourself out there, you're gonna put yourself subject to some criticism. So you have to have a really strong team behind you. You have to have strong ownership, and you have to have strong people that are willing to say, we want to sell this brand with the best integrity, and we want to put this brand out there and and we're okay with this. But this podcast and this platform was designed for guys just like you that are telling their story.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So you always meet someone, and you have to change your business plan. Like, we've changed our business plan, because you have to adapt to what, like, even the way we do the dealers, right? Like, who the dealers are. And some people are like, why would you carry them? Or they're not here, they're not that. To be honest, a lot of times it's because they gave the time and showed the interest to fuck with us while we're new. So we're going to be there, and we can kind of help grow each other.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest difference, too, is like Falcor. A lot of people, even in Houston or in Texas or the gun club, TriggerCon, I realized, Grey Ghost is from, Seattle or Washington area.
Tacoma area. Yeah.
Tacoma.
Fortis is Washington. PWS is from fucking Idaho. Mason and those, the Min 2 Mags, those guys are from Idaho. I think, I forget the guy's name.
Falcor's in Montana.
Texas, we got F1, CMC triggers.
STI.
STI's down there. New York has Dark Storm, which those guys were super dope, and they manufacture everything made in America too. Like they build there, and they're in New York, so good for them. But a lot of people are like, well, they don't know who they are. So that's like, well, I've never heard of them. Just because you didn't hear them don't mean they're not great.
Yeah.
Right, but so that's what I want to do. I want to be the one that come tour the facility, talk to the team, and then bring it to Texas. Take it to the gun club.
You want to go out to other states and bring more, and it's not that you're anti-Texas. It's that you're trying to make the whole. People need to realize the whole country is full of lots of great businesses, lots of great manufacturing operations. All kinds of great stuff is made right here in this country. There's tons of great companies out there run by awesome people, and you want to gather all that together and bring it to your folks, right?
Here's the reality too. Like Texas, Houston, is where I'm from, but I'm coming after the whole fucking United States. I want to be known everywhere. My ambition won't let me just settle in Houston and just or Kima or like Texas.
That's a good thing.
Straight up.
That's a good thing.
Because here's the reality of it. it just creates like the dark somewhere with you guys, and it just creates that presence. So now I have a presence in Montana. Or someone could see you with my hat and be like, "Where'd you get that hat?" Shit, if I sell a hat just because you're wearing it, great for me, right? Like,
People are trying to copy my style with the bend
Yeah.
bill.
yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Elio was saying he wants me to bend him up like this. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'll do it for you. It's fine.
It's fine. It's
proprietary, though.
It's a fashion statement. It's a Scummins fashion statement.
Yeah.
So this is amazing. Getting this insight into a new business, new guys on the block, and you're going to have a really rough road. You're going to have the haters come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
You're going to have the, and somebody mentioned earlier, are we giving the trolls too much air cover by mentioning? I don't think so.
No, and then when this podcast is just what we're going through. I mean,
Yeah. It's just, it's unfortunate in this business that it is so juvenile that, and I'll touch on something maybe you don't want to, and we're not going to name names, but recently somebody got outed behind an account, and it was like a little kid in a college sitting in his dorm who was behind an account that was trolling a bunch of pages.
Yeah.
And you sit back and it goes without saying that when you see these people, you laugh at them.
Yeah.
I think at this point, it's safe to say, Sam, I've been called everything there is to be called.
100% for sure, man.
And I'm a guy
There's no doubt.
who's up at 4 a.m, who goes to the gym. After the gym, I eat my breakfast. Like every other guy, I put my pants on with
Takes
two
his
legs.
glycolog.
Take my glycolog. I come in here, I work. I can't live more like a monk than I do. But yet, I've been called everything. There was actually a really funny comment, what was it, the other night, Sam, on something? And I'll touch on it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about me
Yeah.
drinking at a party, or I was at a party and something like that. I don't drink.
I mean, you'll see, and John and I are very much the same way. You might see us with drinks in our hands and stuff, but it's not like we're getting crazy. And,
What?
Maybe one dinner, maybe once a cha-cha.
Maybe once at Chacho you might catch me.
That's a recent change for me, by the way.
Yeah.
It used to be.
But I find
crazy.
the shit that I hear, and you got to get ready for this, and I'm more giving this as a coaching point to you. The shit that I hear, I sit back and I'm like, and I tell Sam the same line all the time. What do I say? Tell anybody that comes up with this shit, have you ever actually met me? Have you ever actually talked to me?
The one thing.
Have you spent a day with me?
The one thing we brought that I thought was really funny is there was a meme out there that included John kind of in it, but he was not the focus of it.
Yeah.
And his response was golden. He's like, "Yo, if you're gonna make a meme about me or trying to talk shit, I want to be the focus of the meme. I don't need to be an accessory to it. I want to be the whole thing.
I mean,
so go ahead and make the whole thing about him.
yeah, I mean-
and then we'll be good."
It's just comical in a way because behind that, and nobody gives it credibility, behind that is some fucking 22-year-old kid in a college dorm somewhere, cut and pasting, and it's like Photoshop or, hey, we're going to say this and we're going to see who grabs it. Hey, we're going to say that and we're going to see who grabs onto it. And you're over here trying to start a business, trying to put food on your table, trying to build something. And I'm open to anybody who's come on my lives, anybody who's been, just like you. Come on, hey.
Yeah. I mean, you also have kids that, dude, someone DM me saying that, like, you're a pig and you're fucking this. I'm like, yo, I'm not a cop. Not. So you need to chill out. Like,
Yeah,
You're free to have your own opinion. And
the
stuff.
only
It's like, you know
pork
what
in
you're
here
talking
I
about.
smell is Lono.
You talked about this being juvenile.
I'm only half pork.
You talked about this being juvenile in this industry, but it's like it's all industries, right?
Yeah,
It's-
no,
it's-
you're
it's-
right, D.
It's times, it's internet,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
yeah, but not as fucking.
But I refer to it as this. In every industry, just like you have inward and outward facing, in every industry you have what I call little industry and big industry. You have the little industry that wants to eat its own. Every small business, oh, he makes better Kydex than I make, or his shirt is less quality than my shirt. Oh my God, I can't believe he's stippling grips too. Oh,
Don't you realize you all order a Boltron from the same place?
Yeah,
right?
and then you have like Sig and Smith and people sitting back just laughing, like let them kill each other. You know what I mean? And nobody gets that. I sit back. Now you have that in every other industry, like you're saying, D. It exists. It's just that's the way it is. But we don't see it because we're not on the inward-facing side of those industries. You know, in law enforcement, military, all these different subsects, you know, you're going to deal with that. That goes on. Oh, my badge is shinier than yours. My gun's bigger than yours. You know, it's fucking, Jesus Christ. I mean, you're going to, you know, get the fuck over it. You know, I don't like telling this story. I don't care how big you think your thing is. I've had friends that were reserve officers, close friends of mine, that have died on duty, okay? I don't care if you're a ninja. I don't care if you're special forces. All that stuff is awesome, like we talked about. It's brilliant. I don't care if you're the best businessman on the planet. I don't care if you're the worst. If you're trying to contribute and grow and get better and improve your situation for you and your family, and you're doing it above board and with good cause, I am 100% in favor of that. And I think everybody should be supportive and caring and loving, and people should just be nicer. Just be nicer. Hey, man, good for you. Hey, you're starting a business? Good for you. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the police. You've given away probably thousands of dollars of merchandise so far, at least.
Yeah.
To law enforcement officers, to people. Hey, here's a T-shirt, here's a hat. We had a sheriff's department guy up here, pal of mine. Here's a shirt, here's a hat. Why hate on that?
Does it affect you? No.
Why?
I mean, everything.
Does he take the shirt and hat and say, you know what, I'm going to take this, bro, but I'm going to tell you something. You're not SWAT enough. I'm going to give you one warning. Your belt doesn't have enough duty shit on it. Or you haven't done enough shifts.
Heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
Was this comment here directed at us? I mean, who are we talking shit about?
Talking shit on your competitors looks bad on you. Also a quick way to lose sales. Absolutely. I mean, let's assume at face value, Sean. You can clarify it, but we'll take it at face value. Yeah, I mean, I think you shouldn't talk shit on your competitors. I mean, we pretty much, we're cool with everybody. I mean, you know, there's nothing
wrong with saying that we think that we are awesome and that we make awesome shit.
Yeah, you should always, I mean, Sean, just to clarify, you should always think everybody, and I think you're asking the question the right way, maybe phrasing it wrong, but I think you should always think your stuff, whatever it is you make, is better than everybody else's, because you should be proud of it. There should be a certain amount of pride. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone, I mean, I certainly don't put any competitors down. At least I don't believe that I do.
No, not y'all, but others do it.
Others do it, yeah, absolutely, okay. Sean. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it at face value. But I agree with you. I don't think anybody is ever here to put anyone down. It's
there
not
are
about
people
that.
There that do that. There
yeah.
are people that's their thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it all stems from three things, really mainly two. Professional jealousy, the why not me attitude. You have what I want, so I'm going to try to do something to take it from you. Or you're successful and I should be successful, but because you're successful, I'm going to say something or do something that's going to fuck you up or make you eat your Cheerios the wrong way. I don't know.
I guess that leads me
I'm going to eat regardless, so.
That leads me to a question for E here is, you know, tell me if this is the right mindset or if this is how you approach it. When you see other people that are successful, you're not like, oh, I hate you because you're successful, or I am jealous of what you're doing, but my thing is like, I want to talk to you, I want to make a connection, because I want to find out what you're doing that I can take and kind of like package it my own way and use that to make my own self successful. Like, I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to have big houses and fast cars and nice stuff, not, you know, just a few people.
I mean, you have to learn from them, man. Take them like a mentor, right? Like, I learned stuff from John. I learned stuff from Philip. I learned stuff from Dion. Hav and George have stuff. I learned something from everyone.
I'm talking about in business in general and your other ventures and everything like that. If you see other
I've always aligned myself with I never act like I know more than the next person. I always just shut the fuck up and listen, and I observe and learn, and I ask for help.
First seek to understand, then seek to be understood.
Yeah, like and I think that's what's. If I don't know, I don't know.
And I think anytime you start in a new business and in a new area, like if I was coming to you for real estate, I think you should pay attention and assume everybody in the room is smarter than you, than proven otherwise.
And here's the problem, though. Sometimes when I am who I am, sometimes if you're a fast talker, you say something and it just makes you look like you're full of shit. Sure. Like if you come, like I don't look like a realtor. I don't have a suit on. I'll go show a house and flips in a ball cap. My clients will tell you.
I know that. I don't think that's. I've never put like a lot of value on appearance specifically. I mean, there is a certain expectation that you don't look like a dirty slob walking around, but you don't look like a slob. If you're wearing flip-flops, it doesn't mean you don't know your shit. I mean, it just means that you like to be comfortable or you like to wear flip-flops. It's not that big of a deal.
And to be honest, like at a construction site, I wear steel-toe boots because that's what I wear jeans. I can tuck them in. I mean,
Yep.
And you notice, though, a lot of stuff. Like, social media is great, and it's created platforms to, I mean, Grant Cardone. Like, IG and social media took him, that 10X, yeah, social media took him to that 10X.
Yep.
Grant was just in audiobooks. Like, you're a car salesman, it'll be Grant. Now he's everywhere. And now he's into real estate now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, these guys that do these real estate events for multifamily, they do like these group purchasing and stuff like that. Well, they're making money for selling their experience. It's like they're on autopilot. If I can charge $100 to 1,000 people,
We got a guy like that in here today. This dude right here.
oh yeah,
People don't know what Derek's other I don't even want to say side hustle. It's kind of his main hustle. It's starting to be. But he
learn how to make mad memes.
Yeah, here, Derek. Derek, let me. I don't want to cut you off, man, but I want to give Derek a chance to kind of tell you what he does because he's got a similar experience in that. So go D.
Where do you want me to start, man?
I don't know. Tell him what you do.
That's a whole separate episode.
Yeah, it's a whole separate episode. But if you guys want to check it out on udemy.com, I actually sell courses about how to do what I do here. So graphic design. I've got about 40,000 students right now. It's been pretty cool. And yeah, that's the thing. I kind of got tired of not getting paid. I know, yeah. No, I kind of got tired of, not getting paid unless you're actually doing work.
Yeah.
So selling products, digital products, you don't have to ship. You don't have to order. You don't have to have a warehouse full of them.
dude. So I'm a partner in a company that does the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
we need to link up. I'll introduce you to my business partner, Alex.
The connections being made on the
Connections are being made.
podcast.
We'll talk about it. You guys are seeing it happen right now,
Yeah.
by the way. That's
So-
kind of how this happens.
So
Yeah.
we've gone long, believe it or not, and we could sit here and do this all day. We could
having a
rap
good
about
time.
this. We could rap about this all day. What are we, over an hour?
We're over an hour now.
I
Yeah.
got 4 minutes until I run out of storage on you, but we'll still
be Uh-oh. live.
Oh.
We're good.
So
I mean, all I can say is you got to just use all that negativity and eventually all the why you're doing it turns to how you did it.
say goodnight to the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sam knows how I feel about that, and most of the staff does. I don't keep it in the shadows. I almost feed off of it.
He loves it. John loves the controversy.
You're giving me
haters.
free fucking publicity on your shit.
He says thank you a lot.
Oh, my God.
But even then, that's just everybody in general, man. Everyone's going to question, dude, why?
Fuck
Why
me.
would you get into this business?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Well, I think it's because everybody knows the drama and the baloney. And it's funny because, a lot of people don't know what they're getting into. And I look at people and get a lot of, I have a lot of cop friends, obviously. I have a lot of friends in law enforcement. It's just the nature of my background. But, and I look at them and I'm like, dude, this ain't law enforcement. Like, you want to get into this? Like, you don't even know what you're getting into. You're better off going and fucking open a petting zoo or something. But every community has its headaches. But we've said a lot. We've covered a ton.
We could do a whole other episode.
We could do a whole nother episode on this. We can go on and on and on. We can talk in circles. You got an awesome brand.
Thanks.
You're just getting started.
Yeah.
I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate you coming on.
No worries.
I mean it. And I know down the line we'll be talking a lot. I'm not much of a mentor. I'm not much of someone to give advice. At least I don't think so.
Yeah,
But
he's actually kind of a dick.
I'm actually kind of a dick. I'm very short.
Yeah, right.
Very short in multiple
Short
ways,
and
according
fat.
to people. Short and fat, according to people. So I appreciate you. And I appreciate what you're doing in the community. I think it's going to be grossly understated that you're just trying to bring some fun and happiness to people. Hey, here's a shirt, here's a hat. I'm getting my brand out there. I love you guys. Awesome.
Dude,
And-
the neatest thing for me, and sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
go ahead.
I have police off Montgomery PD, I got Buffalo PD, I have McAllen PD, I had one thing when I did, a police officer did the selfie and they sent it to me. She said, I had a shit day, but this put a smile on my face. Like, you cheered me up. Someone that backs the blue. And I'm like, fuck.
And it makes me happy. I genuinely say this on my lives when people leave a comment, a little something, a little thumbs up. Some days, you know, you're ready to jump. Not literally, but you know what I mean. And somebody says, hey, man, you inspire me. Or, hey, like, you know, you're awesome. Keep plugging. Or people leave a good comment on the YouTube. And it gets you, you know, you're like, oh, yeah, I believe in what I'm doing. And that's important. So it doesn't go unnoticed. But I thank you for coming on. It's not easy coming in here.
Yeah, that flight was no joke.
It's no joke. Coming to Kalispell, Montana.
And being the only Mexican here.
Being the only Mexican in Kalispell, Montana.
That's it.
So we appreciate you. We appreciate you spending some time with some of the folks, rapping with the team a little bit. You know, we'll wrap it on this, but what do you think of the brand and what do you think of Falcor now that you've had the tour and seen the facility and visited and talked with everyone?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to go off camera and talk business and bringing it to Houston. So.
Well, we appreciate you. I want to get to shameless plugs, but I want to thank everybody on IG. I want to thank everybody, all the sponsors. We're going to eat some delicious Chick-fil-A after. It's Lowe's first time having Chick-fil-A. She has no Chick-fil-A in Buffalo.
Yeah. If you guys want to see your first experience ever eating a Chick-fil-A sandwich, tune into our IG Live here in the few minutes after we are done with this podcast, and you'll get to see it.
And you'll get to see it. So we appreciate it.
Another thing real quick. So, I meant it earlier. You're law enforcement, you're a veteran, we need advice building a business or setting it up, or if you have a question, email me. I mean, let's talk. I'll definitely help you.
Well, where can people find you? Why don't you plug all that now?
Just email me directly. It's at Elio, ELIO, at bluelinetactical.co. And it doesn't have to be about gun related. If you want to start your own